Oh my God, the actual sacks this dude is breaking is Jalen Milroe type of shit.
How can they not be absolutely ashamed by now at how little is actually done each year? It's once again the same repackaged shit with fancy words.
Why should I be patient with the game company that has held the exclusive rights to NFL football for 20 years? And for about 75% of those 20 years, have made and published nothing but trash content.
Madden is awful. We all know it's bad. And I know that because that's why you clicked on the video. Every single year, a new Madden comes out and everybody is left completely and utterly disappointed. At this point, it's pretty much a tradition. Might as well turn it into a holiday too. Fuck it. Madden being terrible is not some kind of revelation. But what I really want to find out is what exactly about the game makes it so terrible. So let's get started, shall we? Where else to begin other than what they call gameplay? Because to be honest, I'm not sure what they use actually classifies as gameplay. To me, it's more like two objects hitting each other on a screen. But yeah, the gameplay is fucking atrocious in this game. I mean, I don't know why. It's not even like real football. When you want to play Madden, you do it because you love football and you want to play the game based on NFL. That's why. That's it. And when you come in here and you see this awful animation-based arcadey gameplay, it feels terrible to play. It's awful. It's not fun because it's not realistic. I mean, if you've played enough Madden, and I'm willing to bet you have, you could pretty much memorize all the different tackle animations or catch animations or throwing animations because they use them all the time. They don't use real physics. They just use animations that just pop up depending on some random chance. You can't even guarantee anything to happen based on your own skill. No. It's not about your skill. It's about what random animation you get. Especially in the newer Maddens, like if you throw a 50-50 go ball up to one of your receivers, it's either going to be a pick 80% of the time by the cornerback, and maybe if you're lucky, depending on the animation, your receiver may moss the fuck out of the guy. And now you may be saying, but wait, isn't that like real football? Either they get picked, they don't catch it, or the receiver gets it. Well, that's where you're wrong, because the big difference is there's no skill involved in any of the outcomes here. You just throw it up, and the game will decide if you're going to get the animation of the cornerback getting a one fucking handed pick, or your receiver is going to catch the ball. It's not up to you. And that's the big problem with animation-based gameplay. It does not feel fulfilling, and you feel like you got cheated more than you actually won. It doesn't feel realistic at all, and it's very fucking frustrating to play. When it happens, it just makes you want to turn the game off.
Son of a bitch.
And here's a smaller one, but I know this has happened to at least some of you. Do you know when you go for the kick animation to make a field goal, and for whatever reason, in some of the Maddens, at least 30% of the time, they would make your holder have like some kind of brain aneurysm or something, and it would take like 5 seconds for the field goal to get off, and by that time, the goddamn defenders were barreling down on you, and they would block it every single time.
All right, and nobody's blocking.
And I don't know what kind of gameplay choice that is. Like, there's literally nothing you can do there. At least for the one with the receiver and the cornerback throwing a goal ball, you can say, well, yeah, but maybe if your guy's on a 50-50 ball, don't throw it. You can't choose that. The only option you have is don't kick the fucking field goal, which is ridiculous in a game about football. And to be honest, there are so many other nitpicking things I could say about the gameplay, but I'm trying to get like the umbrella things here, right? I'm trying to say the most important things that affect the most amount of people, because that's what really is important here, right? Like, I'm trying to talk about the things that affect you the most, the kind of things that make you not want to play the game anymore. And that's why I talked about gameplay first, because the gameplay affects everything, right? Like, you can talk about franchise mode or ultimate team, but then you'd only be talking about one thing. But if I talk about the gameplay, that literally impacts everything, because obviously the gameplay doesn't change from franchise mode to the arcade modes to the ultimate team. It's the exact same, which means all of the problems show up in all of these modes. So in my opinion, it's the most important thing to talk about. But now I want to move on to the other thing that absolutely killed this game. And it's still killing it actually, like a fucking parasite. Dun dun dun. Ultimate Team. Once EA found out about Ultimate Team, that ruined Madden, honestly. Because those greedy bastards will not let it go. Even when you get on the home screen, all they do is show you pop-ups and try to drag you into Ultimate Team with these like manipulative mind tactics. Like when you load into the game, the first option on the menu will be Ultimate Team. They try to get everybody into Ultimate Team because if you just buy Madden and you play franchise mode, you're only buying the game. But if you go into Ultimate Team and you buy the game too, you're going to spend a bunch of fucking money. Ultimate Team is where EA makes all of their money. So they're going to put all of their effort into that, which not only will it affect that mode because they're going to do new things to try to make more money, but also you got to notice, once Ultimate Team became a thing, literally every other mode to them, they don't even know it exists anymore, I swear. I would be willing to bet they don't even know it exists. They don't care. It doesn't make them money. Why would they give a shit? Franchise mode, arcade modes, anything else. Even with the other sports games, at least they usually have some kind of like my career or like career mode. I mean, don't even get me started on what they have for Madden. Those are not real career modes. They've got nothing pretty much because they don't care. They've got Ultimate Team. It doesn't matter to them. So when they have this, it ruins everything else. Not to mention the fact that I haven't even talked about how it's pay to win, and that's a whole other issue. I think every gamer does not like pay to win unless you're one of the fucking whales that wants to pay to win. But most people can recognize how terrible it is as a practice. Because once you allow somebody to pay to win, it doesn't become about skill anymore. It's not about how much time you spend getting good at the game, which should be the very core principle of everything in video games. No, it's about who can give the most money into the game, which is awful, and it's not fun to play against. When you feel like you lost because you can't put enough money into the game, it feels so disheartening. You want to be done with this fucking game. It's awful. Like, that feeling is terrible. And somehow sports games are the only ones that can get away with these like mobile game like pay to win aspects. I mean, do you remember when Battlefront 2 added those pay to win cards to the game? They literally had governments talking about it because it was some gambling thing. That's the same thing with Ultimate Team. I don't know how they're even here still. They should be in jail or something.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
At the very least, it should be talked about more by gamers, but for whatever reason, it's not really talked about that much. So as I've already told you, you can see that the pay to win doesn't just impact the game where like you can't play the Ultimate Team because it's pay to win and it's not fair for the people who don't want to spend a gazillion doubloons on the fucking game. But also, like a dirty little parasite, it sucks all the resources and the money away from the development team into Ultimate Team, where they literally don't give a shit about Madden, about the franchise mode, or anything else. They'll just send you the same game every year with every other mode other than Ultimate Team. And I'm sure Ultimate Team doesn't even change that much. And that brings me to the last thing that I want to complain about. And that's the fact that this game comes out every single year. And as I already mentioned, they don't add or change anything. All they will do is add a little bit of a roster update for each mode. And I don't think it's that weird of an opinion to think they should not make you pay a full game price for a roster update. They should just update the roster for you. If you're going to pay that and then make a new game maybe every 3 years, and that way they can add new UI and actually add some new features to make it worth buying a whole new video game. The fact that these companies can release a full new video game every year and change absolutely nothing when there's games in other genres that spend years, like Elden Ring, being in development to make the perfect game, and these games are the same price, is absolutely outrageous. That is completely not fair. And people should honestly stop buying this game. But the problem with that is, they don't really have a choice. All because EA is the only company that can make Madden games, which means gamers have a real choice. Either accept the shitty product that EA spits at them every year, or not play a football game. And when you're a huge fan of football and you really want to play it, most people are going to pick the second option, because playing football, even if it's shit, is better than not playing it at all to them. And that's the really sad thing. I wish one day that EA's monopoly on Madden will end, so there can be actually competition in the market, and other companies can come and make a really good game and take the market away from this shitty product. Because I guarantee you, if other games were allowed to make Madden, and they made a good game, they would lose a lot of their followers. And then they would be forced to actually have to try and make a good game for once. And that would be better for every fan of Madden games. Alright, just wanted to come on here and give some of my thoughts on Madden, see if anybody else felt the same. And that's about it. See ya.